Hey everyone, welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Marlene. I am with A Room to Bloom. I want to welcome you in. If you are a first time viewer, really welcome in. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for stopping in again. So, I want to speak on something. Just as I was just about to hit record on this, I heard a bird chirping, and it just brought me back to this morning and yesterday morning. Out one of my windows, um, I have a lot of birds that are chirping and flying around and such, but in particular, yesterday and today there was a robin perched in a particular place, and it was as if both days this robin was just sitting there staring at me, just holding its position for a long time. In fact, so long that I was drawn to go and get my camera out yesterday and today. And this is one of the ways that spirit will communicate with you, angels, guides, etc., through animals. And so I recently lost someone that I love, and I more than likely will have released uh, a couple of videos I have made. I made them, I think, a day or two ago, but I have had a lot going on, and this just happened very recently. In fact, you can kind of see as I'm sure you can see if you watch my channel that I'm not as ready or together as I normally am. But it is what it is. This is where I'm at right now, and this is my truth, right? And so I just did a short, it hopefully will be released before this, but I have the three cards that came up, and I thought, so to continue on with this reading, I'd like to just read these three cards to you that had come up on that, and then we'll continue on. So this is actually really interesting because in one of the other videos that I spoke on in the past couple days or whatever, I had this come to me here. I'm sorry, I'm reaching for it because I had written these words down just on a little paper, and it said courage. And it says to stop running away from the hard things, um, being offered grace as I move through them, and peace as I find resolve and answers, holding peace, right? So I spoke on this because these were kind of like words that were kind of given to me, if you will, courage, okay? And so, because I haven't, I don't think I've done a reading, I don't think I did one yesterday. So, anyway, to skip a day and then have this be the first card that comes out yet again after I had those words. So, courage to find the inner strength and face the fear with confidence, right? So, courage is having fear and moving through anyway. So, what I was saying in the short is this calls us to ask ourselves, what have I been running from, not facing, right? What have I been trying to avoid? And so once we acknowledge that, that's our first step. Um, and then it's saying it doesn't mean that we have to deal with everything at one time. It might say, okay, instead, I know that I've been running from this or that or this situation or a conversation here or whatever that is. Running from the self, running from healing, right? But to sit with the self and to sit with what could be triggers or pain or emotions coming up, right? That aren't always fun to feel. But when we have the courage to sit with them, things begin to become healed, right? And so, whatever that is, it's writing that list of What have we been not wanting to face? This can say like afraid to face, and it might not feel like that, but we might be just putting it, you know, kind of that out of sight, out of mind, not wanting to deal with it. It's like a back pocket thing. Someday we'll get to it, right? But this is saying let's write those down and let's take at least one step towards one of those things to find the inner strength to move through it versus either running away from it or dancing around it. Avoidance, right? Sweeping it under the rug, pretending something doesn't exist. Okay. The next one that came up is balance. Okay. In balance, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Now, when we look at the flower that's on this card, I already have goosebumps as I'm picking it up, right? So we have a lot of green in there. So again, it's like moving from our heart space. We let judgment go and we move from our heart space. And that without judgment is for the self too, right? It's for the self and for others. We have leaves on here that are blue and, like a purple tone to the card. So something about speaking, bringing your speaking into balance. Have you had an underactive throat chakra where you have been suppressing, which is another video I did, and I believe that's been released, about suppressed and repressed and oppressed. So taking a look at where you're at and bringing balance into that area of your life, right? And I do so without judgment, allowing others to speak their truth without judgment. Okay, the next one is guilt. It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's journey. So this says, what beliefs have we been raised with, or what have you, right? So it can start from childhood. It can start with the family beliefs. It can start with schools that we went to. What were the beliefs of the school? It can start with, whatever, say you played sports and there were certain beliefs along that, or groups or clubs or organizations or what have you, from it could be religious beliefs. And then, that's what you've believed all along because it's what you were taught, right? And some of that could have been more from a form of memorization, if you will, right? But on our spiritual journey, sometimes we might start having experiences that are outside of what we were taught. And we start to go, what was that? What was that experience? There's more than maybe I've been told. Or maybe I was told about something a certain way, and so I believed it because I trusted the people that I was told. And it doesn't mean that they were lying to you or making something up, but now you've grown into your own experiences, and so we start to shift how we think based on the experiences that we have had on a personal basis, right? So when we start to say, maybe at one point in my life, and that could have been a week ago, I believed a certain way, but in this past week, I've had a number of experiences that have shifted those beliefs, right? And so now I'm seeing things from a bit of a different perspective, and I'm going to let go of that guilt. That like you can hear someone in your ears still saying, don't do that, and you have to do this way, and whatever. And it's okay to be you because each of our journeys are very different. There are many facets, many different sides to the way we experience things, right? So I'd like to go on now with a deck called the Angel Tarot Cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Let's see what comes up here to continue on in these. No? Well, okay, so I have a chime here, and just because it's sort of chimed, if you heard that, I'm just feeling like I'm supposed to clear the air, so I'm just going to do this lightly. something like this can just really help shift your vibration anytime you're feeling frazzled or overwhelmed, stressed, out of sorts, not yourself, out of alignment. This can help to just hone you back in, right? Especially when you're not speaking through it. So chimes, crystal bowls, this type of thing can just help bring your energy back to center. Okay, so let's see, what messages would you like to bring forth about the courage? I'm going to take one across each and then we'll clarify each of these cards. Okay, what would you like to tell us about courage? Finding the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay, so we have a King of Fire. Now, the King of Fire is the King of Wands. This is someone who is action-oriented, someone who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. The idea here is focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader, right? Have the courage to step up. Getting advice from someone creative. And that could be having the courage to take the advice, right? Doesn't mean you have to, but at least hear someone. Listen. Okay. What else do we have here? Okay. Under balance, we have the Six of Water. Now, the Six of Water is some memories coming up from the past. This could be somebody from your past coming back in, right? Memories from your history or your childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past, right? Bringing things into balance. The cups or the water represents our emotions, right? So bringing our emotions back into balance. Have we been romanticizing something that maybe was quite challenging, right? Issues regarding children, something coming back in from the past. Okay, the next one is the Page of Water under guilt. Okay, so the pages are messengers. So the page would be like someone who would come in bringing a message. It could be possibly an apology, someone who is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. So a new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. You have heightened psychic abilities here is what is showing up. Okay. Again, this page of water, it's like a summer energy too. So could be experiencing something as I record this. It happens to be June 12th. So could have some type of experience that might help you overcome the guilt as well. Any guilt. Again, in that guilt could have memories from childhood or issues regarding children, right? Bringing balance into that. Tell us more about why is this King of Fire here, or this King of Wands under courage? Okay, we have the Nine of Fire. This is the Wounded Warrior card, right? So it says don't give up. You may have been through a lot. This is often depicted with someone who's standing with a wand. They have a bandaged head. It says, hey, I've been through a lot, but I'm still standing. And that song comes to me, that sings those lyrics. I'm still standing after all this time, right? So don't give up. Protect that which you have created. Have courage. Interesting. It falls under the courage in the first row, right? Have courage and believe in yourself, right? Okay, so you could have the energy of this King of Fire, someone who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Okay, so tell us more about why is the Six of Cups here under balance? Bringing balance to a situation. with memories. Okay, we have the Three of Fire. This is the Three of Wands card. It says abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. The Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in some form or manner, right? Um, abundance, waiting for your ships to come in. Things are looking good. Have patience at this time. So this is really, again, trusting the journey. Continue to stand in your courage, even though you very much may have really gone through it. And you are now what is considered the wounded warrior, right? Been through some challenging times, but you're on the outside of that now. Okay, the next one in clarification under the Page of Water. Tell us why this is here under guilt. We have the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is a fast-moving energy, and it can represent like a vehicle or something or someone moving towards you. The red and black horse represent balance, yet again, right? So this is Archangel Metatron. There's an important achievement here, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition for the work that you have done or been doing. And I'm feeling like I just want to take a little bit more for some. Well, let's take, I want to see what it shows for an outcome. So the Five of Fire, this is the Five of Wands card, and it shows the Five of Wands is like others that are fighting around you are causing things. It's like it says like conflict with others, competing goals, bothersome details, right? That may have just been, they're just simply bothersome. Think of like if you're somewhere and you have a fly around, right? It's just, it's just something that's you're experiencing, right? On the bottom of the deck, we have the Dreamer. This speaks of a new beginning. This is the Fool card. And this is representing our subconscious mind, saying it's time to take this leap of faith and follow your dreams. Unexpected opportunities are here for you now. We have the Moon card, so Archangel Haniel, important psychic insights. Events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So the moon can feel like illusions, right? But there's more going on that you may not be able to see, things that are hidden. The Three of Water says a celebration, right? So there may be a wedding, a graduation, or a birth announcement here, and a need to have more fun because we have the dolphins there, right? Okay, I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit more information on this situation with the Chariot under the page and this guilt, like releasing guilt. I'm going to take 3 cards on this. Tell us why this is here, please. Okay, so we have the Three of Air. Okay, yeah. So we have two parent unicorns and a little one, right? Three of Air. This can speak of a third party relationship or something in the middle of two people. It says great sadness. Take time to heal and the need to forgive yourself or others. All right. Again, remember that fell under the word guilt. So the need to forgive yourself or others. Okay, the next one is the Hermit, right? And so this situation that has caused great sadness or whatever, you may have gone into hermit mode and taken the time to do healing. It says spend time in quiet meditation, spiritually teaching, and self-discovery, right? It is when we go into the hermit mode that we start really asking the bigger questions, the more profound questions, and we're seeking answers. And through that, we gain the answers, and then we take that information and we become a light bearer for others, right? With Archangel Raziel. So it could be a situation that pushed you, right? A situation that was of great sadness that pushed you into hermit mode. And the next card that we have is we have a Knight of Water. A Knight of Water is, the knight is someone who's coming in with some type of an emotional offer because it's water. So if you can imagine, they're holding a cup of water. They're emotional, they're romantic, they could be poetic, enthusiastic, or contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event, right? So you've done great healing. You may be being seen at this point as a spiritual teacher. Now someone is coming in. Um, Now someone is coming in. Still continue to keep your emotions in balance, right? Remember, we had the balance card, and under that, memories again from history or something with history or childhood or issues regarding children. I'm going to take two more. Okay, so you guys, balance yet again, right? So we have a need for balancing emotions, and then we have balance again. The need to balance, for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing, right? We don't have to rush things. And so if you look very closely, this is like the Temperance card, and this is Earth Angel energy, which is Sagittarius energy. This angel pours the water back and forth between the cups. So saying we don't have to push forward, balance, balance and moderation, things will work out. What else do we have here regarding this? We have the star, right? So being seen as the star energy is representative of healing. This is Aquarius energy. It says happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You're on the right path, right? You are on the right path, which we already had this again, right? Because we had the Three of Fire, waiting for your ships to come in. Things are working out. Have patience, make the long-term plans, right? So we have this optimistic long-term plans. You know, so staying positive about those, because what we give our energy to will expand. It's like two balloons that we're going to blow up. We can put our energy into something that, you know, is not helping us, or we can put our energy in our breath, right? Speaking life over things, situations that we would like to experience. We can breathe life into that, if you will. And what we give and breathe life into and speak words of life over situations, that is what will expand in our life. So I'm being called to split this deck. Let's see what comes up here. Unity. Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints and methods. Spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Okay. So when we had this card about the courage, let's see. I'm sorry, which one was it? But whichever one it was. Oh yeah, the guilt. Pardon me. It was, I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. So when someone may have had, however you want to use the words, whether it's religious doctrine, whatever it is, and then they lean more into a unity perspective, understanding that God is in all that is, right? And so, and when we seek, we shall find, right? When we knock, the door is open. When we ask, we shall receive, right? So seek like-minded people so you can have those conversations, so you can have that unity connection, so that you don't feel so fragmented and or alone, especially after you've been through the hermiting phase. It's taking what you've learned, because we all learn different pieces, right? And so then it's sharing that with others to help bring healing in. I think that we're going to wrap this one up for now. I want to say thanks for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. have all these cards here. Hold on.